What's up? I wanted to pop back in. I had something on my mind I wanted to talk about. So yeah, I ain't come for no small talk, so I hope you ain't here for that. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Let's get into it. I wanted to talk about magic. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of a taboo topic. You feel me? Something that in the last spaces, there's still fear surrounding the conversation about. You know what I mean? But I feel like it's a conversation that I'm not gonna say must be had, but it's a conversation that needs to be had if you were a specific type of person. You know what I'm saying? So that's what bring me to this. You feel me? So what I wanted to talk about with magic, you know what I'm saying? I kind of want to talk about levels in magic, but I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to the part where we talk about the levels and shit, but us as a people, you feel me? Whether you want to say, I really don't care if you want to say us as black people or us as chosen people or us as human beings. It really don't really matter which way you spin it. Us as a people, you feel me? Have always kind of wanted to find out more about ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We wanted to learn more about the spirit and the soul and, you know what I'm saying, what those are, where they come from, what they mean. You know what I'm saying? If you want to look into different systems of spirituality or religion, who are God's people, what does it mean to be God's people, things like that. You feel me? But as a people, we're always searching for that. We're always searching for those type of answers. We always got them type of topics in mind. You feel me? At least deep down. You know what I'm saying? We live our lives. We do the day-to-day, the regular thing. But we all kind of got that part about us that kind of really want a deeper understanding to who we are and shit like that. So as you study different things and as you learn, you come across a lot of different systems of spirituality, whether ancient or older or present, new ones being created today, or you come across a lot of different systems of magic as well. You feel me? In fact, when you study different systems of spirituality, you learn that a lot of those things are what the outsider would consider magic or witchcraft. You feel me? So one of the things I really want to say, in this conversation about magic is that everything is magic. Everything around us is magic. It all started from a thought that was made manifest in some way, shape, or form. Everything in our physical reality, everything that we go outside, everything that we see, everything that we look at with our eyes, with our human eyes, was created. It was a creation by some force or some person, you know what I'm saying, or some entity when you want to look in religion and spirituality and see what they say. Everything is a creation. before it was created, it had to be conceived. The thought had to be conceived and then manifested. That's magic. So as a people, and now I'm kind of like narrow it down a little bit more. As a people, as a chosen people, as a person who feels inside of them like, you know, I'm more than this. There's something about me that has a different type of connection than most of the people around me. I'm in tune to something that's a little bit different than most of the people around me. Those people who have that, those people who feel those ways, it's an important thing to understand that everything's magic. And by the way, I'm re-recording this video. I recorded it before. I wasn't the biggest fan of how it came out. I was distracted. I was cooking at the time. I recorded it, so I'm re-recording it. I didn't go back and watch it. I'm speaking on the same topic. If y'all been really tuning in with me, you know that I ain't the one who gonna come on here and read a book and come up here with a notepad with the notes. And I'm talking off the top of my head and shit. You feel me? So I may or may not still drop the original one I recorded. But in this one, I'm gonna try and hit all the same points, and I might bring in a little bit of another conversation that I wanted to have towards the end. You feel me? So bear with me a little bit. But as a chosen people, it's important to understand that everything is magic, because there's an important aspect of life in general that we experience, and that we experience being a different people. You know what I'm saying? Life is a little bit different for us. You know what I'm saying? We have experiences that most people would look at us and call weird and shit like that, if they don't understand, or if they're on the outside looking in. You feel me? But in order to really understand the nature of what we're going through, we have to kind of go back a little bit and start to unravel this idea that magic is evil. And I think the first step in kind of like unraveling that is to understand that everything is magic. So, you know, I read a book a long time ago that was talking about the idea of two different beings existing, or two different types of human. Now, for one, I forget what they called one of the types, but it's the lower level type. It's like tiers. This is like the lower tier type. So we'll call it the subject. In the upper tier type of human, they call the hold on, give me a second. The observer. Okay? So the subject is the type of human that goes through life and just experiences life. They do things happen to them. They go through things, they experience things, they're just here. They're just along for the ride, right? And then you got the observer. And the observer kind of sits in the upper echelon of reality. The observer sits in a position to where they could kind of, I'm not saying that they do oversee, but they can oversee all of reality. So the observer, while the subject is in the position of the subject, they take on the role of the subject, and they see things from the subject's perspective, and they experience things from the perspective of the subject. But the observer can see everything, and the observer sees all perspectives and can understand and find understanding in all points of view, in all perspectives. The observer doesn't pick a side. The observer doesn't pick right. The observer doesn't pick wrong. The observer doesn't pick black, white, up, down. The observer doesn't pick anything. The observer doesn't do anything but observe what we're experiencing and learning. There may be a third type that they spoke about, but let's just stick with that for right now. I'll go back and, you know what I'm saying, see if I can find that or something. But this type of human that sits in this higher perspective and sees things from this higher perspective, this human is one that has control over their life. They can manifest almost whatever they want, if not whatever they want. They can kind of do whatever they want. They are not subject to the same consequences as a subject, because they're not just experiencing life, but they are alive, if that makes sense. The subject can't really do what they want. Life happens to them. They're not really in the driver's seat. They're in the space of I don't know why this is happening to me. I don't know why I keep going through these things. I don't know what to do about this problem. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? That's the subject. Let me do, I gotta, you feel me? Let me go to work all day. I pay these bills. This and the third. Subject. The observer doesn't experience life in that type of way. The observer sits in a role to where, you know, of knowing, because they observe and they see all aspects. So there is no, I don't know why this is happening to me. Oh, I chose this to happen for this reason. If this happens, then this outcome becomes made manifest. If this happens, then this other outcome becomes made manifest. I choose for this outcome to become made manifest. So this is the path I go down. If I feel like it, if I want to. The observer has more control. The observer, life is not happening to them, but they are happening to life. You understand? So it's a difference. Now, and I should have said this at the beginning of the video, nothing I'm talking about is to sit here and say, you know, this system of spirituality is wrong, or this system of magic is wrong, or what these people believe is wrong, or what that person believes is wrong. I'm not here to speak on none of that. All I'm here to do is speak on my experience and what I've gained from my experience. You know what I'm saying? I'm open to have any conversation. You know what I'm saying? I'm open to anything. Like, you feel me? So let me just put that out there. You know what I'm saying? Before we go on some more. But so boom, you got two different types of humans. Okay. Now, let's kind of start moving into levels of magic. Now, you might have heard this before. Different system of, the thing about magic is the same. It's understood and taught differently throughout different systems and different beliefs. The understanding of what it is, even where it might have came from, it might be slightly different or whatever. But the properties of magic are ultimately the same. And it kind of moves and operates in the same type of manner. So you may have heard before that in magic there are levels. In different systems of magic or spirituality, there are levels. Now, somebody who exists in a higher seat, somebody who has a higher rank, can affect somebody at a lower level, somebody who was ranked lower or doesn't have a rank yet, so long as they believe in it. So, for example, if you got somebody who is a level 1 and you got somebody who is a level 16, you feel me? This person and the person who's a level 1, you know, they believe in magic and stuff like that, but they don't really practice. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, this person who's a level 16 has been practicing for some time. They ranked up, they elevated, they earned new badges. You feel me? They sit in a little bit of a higher seat. If this person chose to inflict pain or some type of hurt or some type of trauma or something to that type of effect on this person who's just a level 1, on this person who's just a level 2, anything, anybody who's lower than that level 16, if this person decided to do something specific to that person, so long as their level in magic is, or so long as their belief in magic is strong enough to where it's like, you know, now I know it's real. I know it's real. I just don't really practice. I'm not there on my journey yet, this and the third. This level 16 can have an effect over this level 1 or 2. I know there's different cases that exist, but we're not at that point in the conversation yet. But they can have different effects over this person who's a level 1 and 2. So this person who's a level 1 or 2 will be, you know, equal to what we're talking about in the idea of a subject and an observer. Okay. Now, the thing about it is that at the time we exist in right now, like I said, the only reason I'm even talking and making these little videos or whatever, is because of what's going on right now on a large scale. The things that we feel happening internally inside of us as chosen people, this war that we're starting to understand more about, that we've heard about since we was kids, about spiritual warfare and this, that, and the third. And now we're starting to see what's becoming manifest from all them stories that we heard about. The time we exist in right now is a very important time. And in the spiritual community, in the consciousness community, you have a lot of people in the religious community. You have a lot of people who, whether it's knowingly or unknowingly, have been leading many people astray. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's something that they want to bring, or you know what I'm saying, bring to something they want to deal with, as far as, you know, I could do this and I could talk about this and people want to hear this, and I could get some money for this, or I could get monetized, you know, in the age of social media and shit like that, or a lot of different things, a lot of different reasons. You know what I'm saying? It could be somebody who don't know no better. Like, they really think they got it because they learned from somebody who was leading people astray, or they learned from somebody who ain't have all the answers. There's a lot of dissension. There's a lot of confusion that's been taking place for generations, for a very long time. And a lot of that, I believe, has to do with the confusion and the understanding of what the soul is versus the spirit. I've heard a lot in my lifetime. I've heard a lot and seen a lot of where the soul and the spirit was the topic. They were used interchangeably, or they was viewed as being the same thing, but going by different names. In my experience, that's not how I learned to see it. In my experience, and what I was shown was that the soul and the spirit are two completely different entities altogether. While they may have very slight similarities, they're completely different, and those similarities are very slight. Now, I'll try and paint that picture just a little bit. As I said in the beginning of the video, everything is creation. It started from an idea that was made manifest. So, this container was made by somebody. You know, they got machines that make stuff now, too cool. Factories and all that good shit. Somebody made the machines. At the end of the day, everything that was created bearing the energy or the energetic signature of the creator. Just like in art, with paintings and shit, and the artist would, you know, normally sign the bottom of the painting or sign the painting. You feel me? That's the signature of the creator of this artwork. Well, guess what? Even if artwork does not have a signature, it still bears the energy of its creator. Everything that is created, everything inside of creation bears the energy of its creator. And that energy of its creator is what you would call the spirit. So everything in existence has a spirit. Everything physical has a spirit. No matter what it is. It doesn't really matter if it's inanimate. It has a spirit. Everything. Because it was a creation that came from a thought that went forth and became manifest. Magic. All magic has a signature. Everything that is created is magic. So it has a spirit. Now, a soul is different. A soul is the primordial energy that always was. You know, when you start talking about the soul, there's not really too many things that you can say without sounding, you feel me, like you trying to be deep. You know what I'm saying? and don't even really be trying to be deep. But it's a difference. When you're talking about the soul, you're talking about, excuse me, when you're talking about the soul, you're talking about something that existed long before creation was here. The soul was there. In them primordial waters, that soul existed. So there's a significant difference between the soul and the spirit, and they are not the same thing. But when we're talking about what we're dealing with as far as chosen people, that thing inside of us that makes us chosen people, or that thing inside of us that makes us holy, you're talking about the soul. You're not talking about the spirit. That's why you can say good or evil spirits. But the soul is neither and both at the same time. The soul just is. Now, the nature of our reality, the nature of this universe that we exist in, is division. Everything that we experience in the physical realm is fragmented. It's not in its original state. So the nature of the universe and our reality is division. But that's another conversation. But the soul is that thing that just is what it is. It just is. You feel me? So when you're dealing it, when you bring that and come back to the space, there's something that has to be understood. Are you a fan of fiction, movies, superhero shit, all that shit? You probably you for sure heard, that Spider-Man line, with great power comes great responsibility. It's true. Or I had another one that was in my mind, it's gone now, but with great power comes great responsibility. Right? So the thing about it is us being chosen people. We're in a predisposed or predestined position. We're not here by chance. We chose to be here. So you have to remember who you are to take place of the observer, to take accountability for your life in order to understand, hey, there's nothing I experienced in my entire life that I didn't choose for myself. There's nobody to blame because nothing exists but me. Once you can take that power and once you can take that accountability and take that responsibility for your entire life, whether you was a child and you was abused by your parents, whether, you grew up and you got bullied in school and you got used and abused by people and nobody just wouldn't do right by you, attack you, violate you, whatever. You chose it. You chose it. You chose it because you were on path before you came into this physical existence. You was on path to become something specific. It's your life contract to become something specific, to return to something specific, to remember who you are. It's your life. It's your life contract. You been chose this a long time ago. And you on mission. So you on path to remember who you are and become who you're supposed to be. And in order for you to do that, for you, there was a specific set of experiences that you had to go through that is the equivalent of programming that you had to go through, and certain switches that you had to switch on and switch off, and certain buttons that had to be pushed, and certain codes that had to be inputted in order for you to make it to your destiny. But you had to go through everything you went through. That was the specific pathway for you to get to your destination. Johnny across the street got a different pathway to get to his destination. But all of your destinations ultimately lead to the same goal, but your pathways are different. And in your pathway, you had to get beat up by your father. In your pathway. In your pathway, you had to be abused by your mother. In your pathway. In your pathway, you had to be homeless by the time you was 12 years old. In your pathway. In your pathway, you had to be an alcoholic at 15. In your pathway. You had to go through every single one of them experiences in order to ultimately get to who you're supposed to be. So the thing about it is life be hard and shit be hard and the pressure don't stop. But there's beauty in acceptance, and there's beauty in understanding, and there's beauty in being able to take that responsibility and that accountability for your life, even the things that people did to you. You take accountability for it and you take responsibility for it. If you blame somebody for something they did to you, you're not doing nothing but giving your power away to somebody else. You ain't doing nothing but say they had power over me in order to inflict this type of harm on me or to inflict this type of trauma on me. I don't give nobody that power. Anything I go through, I went through because I was supposed to, because I chose to go through it. Because I knew that I had to go through it in order to remember who I am. Good or bad. So that's what you want to do. That's one of the first things you want to do. You want to work deep. You want to do deep work with being able to take accountability and responsibility for everything good and especially everything bad that has happened to you in your lifetime. Because that's how you take your power back. And once you do that, you start to begin to evolve and change. And now you start to sit in a little bit of a different seat. You got a little bit of a different view to work with once you do that. So now, you know what I'm saying, the conversation shift a little bit, things change a little bit. Now we talking about something a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so in the space, the space has been infiltrated. You know what? I'm not even gonna say the space has been infiltrated, but the space has been watered down with a lot of things that are untrue. You got a lot of people who are online right now who are charging people to do readings and different things. Exploiting different spiritual gifts that were not meant for exploitation. Speaking on things that are sacred that they were never granted access to speak on. Continuing to act in a way that they were not permitted to act in. And amongst these people, you have a lot of people masquerading to be genuine people and masquerading to have a genuine understanding. But unfortunately, A lot of those people are untrue. A lot of them are untrue. The thing about magic is that, as I said, with great power comes great responsibility. When you start to experience certain gifts and you start to go through certain things to where you start to learn and have a deeper understanding of who you truly are, these things are not meant to be exploited. These things are not meant to be masqueraded and put on to beat in people's faces. And you feel me? It's not for that. When you go through this awakening and this learning and remembering and understanding of who you truly are, this is something sacred. You feel me? It's not to move in that type of form or fashion is disrespectful to whatever energies it is that you are dealing with. This is disrespectful. There shouldn't be any exploiting of gifts. There shouldn't be any disrespecting the people of different spiritual systems. People go through leveling up and initiation in different systems and in different ways. Their pathway was different to ultimately arrive to the same goal as a spiritual, or I'm sorry, I don't even like that term, as a chosen person. And I guess now, when me talking about the spirit and the soul, y'all understand why I don't like saying spiritual, or why I like saying chosen person. Or there's not really a term for, you're not a solitude person. You feel me? There's not really a term for that. So, people who bear that mark, people who have that soul, that sun, that soul, you feel me? That's what this should be about. But there's a certain respect that you're supposed to have that comes along with your understanding. You feel me? And the thing about it is when you go through the process and you go through initiation, you go through learning and remembering and leveling up, you feel me? There's a certain type of regard and respect you're supposed to have. There's a certain type of honor you're supposed to have. You're a part of something bigger. You as an individual has died. You're a part of something bigger. You're a part of this thing the ancestors was fighting about. You're a part of this thing that the ancestors was fighting for. You've returned to them as they return to you. You should honor them and respect them in a high manner. And along with that honor and respect is the way that you honor and respect and conduct yourself as who you are, as who you truly are, and what you come with and what power you come with. It's supposed to be dealt with and honored and respected in the proper manner and in a specific type of way. Now, I've been talking for 40 minutes. Now, I say all that to say, when you're dealing with levels of magic, when you have the proper honor and respect, there's a part of this entire process that you will arrive to where you will begin to understand the bigger picture, and you will begin to understand this war that you're really a part of. And along with that understanding, you begin to understand that This power isn't for me to sit here and do a ritual so I could get the car I want. This power isn't for me to sit here and do a ritual so I can get the money I want. This power isn't for me to sit here and do a ritual so I could get the person I want. This type of power is not something that's meant to be used for personal, monetary, or physical gain. That's not what this is for. As I said, the soul is what existed before creation was here. So, in order to understand what that means, for magic, you have to understand that the soul is that old. Once you understand that, and you understand who you are, if you can identify yourself as a chosen person, then you can understand, okay, I'm somebody who has to be held to a different standard, to a higher standard. I'm somebody whose life has to be a lot about sacrifice. I'm somebody who has to give up a lot of the things that I want. In some cases, I might have to give up a lot of the things I feel like I need as a chosen person because I'm held to a higher standard. In a lot of instances, I might have to give up some of the ways I feel because how I feel might not matter. I got a mission to do, and I got a job to do, and I got a responsibility to be on mission with every breath I take in this life. I have a responsibility to be on mission as a chosen person who isn't running from their purpose and who is walking in the light of who they really is. Someone who is illuminated now. Someone who understands who they are as a holy entity walking around in this world. You're held to a higher standard and you have a responsibility. With great power comes great responsibility. You have a great responsibility because you have a great power. You feel me? So, this type of power is not to be used for monetary, personal, or physical gain. This type of power is to be accessed for mission business. For mission business. For your soul work. For your path, for the business upon your path. The thing about it is as somebody who's in alignment, you don't have to do a money ritual. If it is in your path to be able to be in a certain position or to have something, all you have to do is what you're supposed to do. And everything that you need to ensure that you can do what you're supposed to do will fall into your lap. It will fall into your lap as a chosen person who's on mission. It will fall into your lap. All you gotta do is stay focused. And you know, I've been telling people this shit for years, man. I got people who could, you know, attest to what I'm saying. But that's all you gotta do as a chosen person. You just gotta stay focused. And whatever's for you, at whatever time it's for you, it's gonna be there for you. You don't have to try and chase it. You don't have to chase anything. You don't have to get anything. Whether it's whether it's the job that you need to get you to the next level, whether it's the person who you need at that time, who's supposed to help you evolve, you will have whatever you need, whenever you need it, at whatever time you need it. All you gotta do is stay focused and keep moving. That's it. And what we're talking about is understanding who we are and what in this power and this magic that we hold, being the people we are and being the entities that we are and the beings that we are. You feel me? So understand people who exploit these gifts and try to try to exercise a certain type of perception over people. To people who don't practice magic, a lot of things that we see that we say is, oh, that's witchcraft and oh, that's evil and this, that, and the third. Normally, those are people who don't really understand, what we're talking about now. They don't understand everything is magic. They don't understand that magic is not something that's evil or something that we're not supposed to, or something that's taboo, or you feel me? They don't have that type of understanding of magic because they don't practice. They're not in the space. So they just, oh, that's witchcraft, that's evil. You know what I'm saying? That's demonic. That's satanic. You know what I'm saying? We're not supposed to be doing that. To those people, somebody who operates or somebody who practices, who have a lot of effect in the physical world because of their magic, somebody who has attained a lot of things by means of their power or their magic, somebody who has, hurt a lot of people by means of their power and their magic. To somebody who doesn't practice, or somebody who's outside of the space looking in, those people look like, oh, that's a high-ranking witch member of the Illuminati, Freemason Club, of the secret societies, and you feel me? That's what it looked like to somebody who's on the outside looking in. But when you on the inside, and when you are somebody who understands the proper or the inner workings of what goes on with this shit and how this shit really go, those people who exploit all these gifts to get for personal gain are truly, and I want to say this, they are truly operating in very low levels of magic. I want to say this because a lot of people don't really understand this. You look at the shit going on with I'm not going to say too much on this shit, you feel me? Maybe in the future I'll talk about it a little bit more. But you look at all the shit going on with Diddy and shit like that, and all the shit he was doing, and you know what I'm saying? Even when people talk about other people in the industry, Jay-Z, Travis Scott, and all that shit, and oh, these people are, oh, they're devil worshippers, and they're doing this, and they're doing rituals, and they're making people do this, that, and the third, and you know what I'm saying? All that shit, man. All that shit. And these people think, and these people live like they kings of the earth. And they live like, you know what I'm saying, they just have all this power. All this power. You feel me? And an outsider looks at all of that and, oh man, oh, they worshiping the devil. They sold their soul. When you sell your soul, you get everything you want. All the riches and this, that, and the third. Physical possessions. Like I said, low levels of magic. Low levels of magic. You would only know if you was really, you know what I'm saying? But it's low levels of magic. The thing about it is that there are consequences too for abusing that power and abusing, the memory of our ancestors. There are consequences to that. it's a cause and effect thing. There are effects to that, for that, from that. You know what I'm saying? It's very important to, as a chosen person, as somebody who's on path to try and remember who they are and all those type of things, it's very important to, give honor to those who are fighting for you. Give honor to those who came before you. Give honor to your dead people. Honor them. Treat them with respect. Talk to them. Let them know you with them the same way they always with you. You feel me? It's scary to people who's not involved. It's scary to people who's not involved. It's scary to people who were taught the wrong thing and taught to view it and look at it the wrong way. But it's something that's important. It is something that's sacred. It is something that's holy. And it's something that's fulfilling. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people who, in certain different religions like to take certain texts and try to bash people and, well, the Bible say that it's witchcraft and this, that, and the third. The Bible also say that Jesus walked on water. Jesus said that you would do greater works. And I still ain't seen no human walk on water yet. So was that something that was normal that humans could just do? Or was it magic? You know what I'm saying? A lot of people pick and choose when they want to understand something and not understand it. Or how they want to understand it and not understand it. All I'm really saying is that, the time we exist in right now is a time of correction. The time we exist in right now is a time that everything that was, manipulated upon to prevent us, to prevent those chosen people from being able to remember who they are. All those systems, all those things are crumbling. All those things are coming down. You know what I'm saying? We in a different space now. There's a lot that people are starting to become enlightened to or illuminated to. You know what I'm saying? So, as a chosen person, understand that the world around you was magical. The world around you was magic. And you are magic. Don't continue to be confused and tricked by people who operate at a certain level of magic, that they use illusions and they use fear to make you think that they are really powerful. But they are truly operating on lower forms of magic in order to try and keep you from remembering your power, because you sit above them. You feel me? So, damn. Shit, the first video I recorded was 40 minutes. Shit longer. Man, you feel me? So, I'll probably talk about this a little bit more. I don't know if I hit every point I wanted to hit or not, but it's been a damn hour already. You feel me? I could talk about all this type of shit all day, man. It's man. It's what I do. You feel me? But if whoever watches this, whoever tune into this, like I said, I wanna start doing lives and talking to people in real time. But I kind of like what I've been doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of a fan of what I've been doing, so I think I keep doing it like this for a little bit, and keep track of the response. And based on that, when we start getting a little bit more, when I start getting a little bit more traction, I might do live so I could talk to people in real time. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I don't want to do it too soon. Like, the ones who are really into, you know what I'm saying, figuring some shit out, they might go back and look at old shit, but I'm not. I wanna hit those windows. There might be a window where somebody might not do that, but if you catch them right then and there, you know what I'm saying, they there with it. So I wanna wait and see, you know what I'm saying, before I start really just diving into doing the lives and shit like that. And I ain't never been a social media nigga, so I don't think I ever really went live before. You feel me? So we gotta see what's gonna happen first. You know what I'm saying? To see how it go. You know what I mean? But like I said, anybody tuning into this, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate you, but you know, I'm not doing this for my own personal gain. I'm not doing this for me. You know, the only reason why I'm making videos now and doing this now is because I was told it was time. You know what I'm saying? This is something I contemplated for a long time. I was told it was time. You know what I'm saying? And I've been granted access to be able to speak on a lot of the things that I'm speaking on now, and a lot of the things that I'm gonna speak on in the future. There's a lot of things I've wanted to talk about for a long time, but I couldn't speak on it yet. You feel me? I wasn't allowed to speak on it yet. But I'm allowed to speak on a lot of things now. You feel me? And for the people I come across in passing, because, you know, there are a lot of people I've come across have asked me, like, you know, why are you talking about this? Or, you know, you might not, you shouldn't say that, or you shouldn't talk about that, or you shouldn't share. That's not something you should share with people. And I've heard that a lot, and I understand why people say that and why people ask me about that. And they're absolutely right. You're not supposed to just talk about a lot of these things. These things are sacred. Some things are to be shared. Some things are sacred and for you specifically. And I want you to understand, I want you to know, there's a lot of things I'm never going to talk to you about because it's for me specifically. But there are a lot of things on my that I've experienced that I was told to speak on. I was told not, when I was going through it, I was told not yet. But when it was time and I was granted that access, like, yeah, you supposed to speak now. You feel me? So that's what's going on with me. You feel me? That's what all this shit is about. I don't do nothing but what I'm told to do. I'm obedient. I'm obedient as fuck. I don't do nothing but what I'm told to do. So that's why I'm up here talking like this right now. You know what I'm saying? For an hour. You know. I ain't think I was gonna be talking this long, this goddamn song, but you feel me? Here we are. Shit, it might get longer than this, but you know, I'm gonna try and keep it a little short. I know a lot of people, attention span, I really like that. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? That's my little think piece and shit. You know what I'm saying? Talking about magic. I just remembered, I actually kind of meant to go into my last talk too, try and connect the dots a little bit with what I was speaking on before. I was talking about energy tracing. You know what? I do it like this. I'll do another part to this video, and I'll connect the dots with the energy tracing, and we'll get into discussing this ancient entity, this ancient enemy of the chosen people that we dealing with. And I'll bring that into this conversation about levels of magic. You feel me? So, you know what I'm saying? You don't gotta tune in if you don't want to. You know, by all means, do what you want to do. I'm gonna be speaking regardless. You know what I'm saying? Because I was told to speak. So it is what it is. But I fuck with y'all. I love y'all. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? If You rockin' with me, rock with me. Fuck it. We here. Love.